So we're going to talk about unit conversions. So you can take that down in your book. And when we talk about unit conversions, girls, what comes to mind? Units. Okay, so what are some units? Yeah. Kilometers. Okay. So one type of unit is kilometers. Centimeters. What? What are some other units, girls? Okay. Kilometers, we've done that. Meters. Okay, so if we talk about unit conversions, these are units. What type of units are these? Units of distance or of length, right? So these are all units of distance or length. Then how come they all have different names? Kilometer, centimeter, millimeter. They're all units of distance but have different names, yeah.
They have the word meter in common.
They have the word meter in common. Did everyone see that? So all of these have the word meter in common. So kilometer, centimeter, millimeter, hectometer. We'll get to that in a moment. So those are units of distance, but then there are other types of units. Can you give me another example of something which we measure? Grams. So you get kilograms. Oh, wrong color. Kilograms. Girls, is it distracting, or can you see on the board what I'm doing? Does it kind of work? Okay, so kilograms. What else? Grams. Milligrams. Okay, I'm using the symbols M for, I'm abbreviating. Milligrams, kilograms. What else? Centigrams. I suppose they do exist. You do, but they don't often talk about it, but you do. Okay, so what type of units are these? Mass. They're units of mass, right? So these are what we call, let me use this, units of, my handwriting is getting worse. These are units of mass. Okay. So now, It was trying to be 66 and 99, but it's just not working out. Okay, so we have units of mass, we have units of length, we actually have units of all sorts of things. But basically, one of the problems we have to do in mathematics, and people traditionally get very confused because they don't know how it works, is how to convert from one unit to another. Have you ever had a problem like that? Like, how do you convert from one unit to the other? So I want to tell you that there is no need to be confused at all. It's actually very, very simple. And what I'm going to try and show you is a system for converting from any one unit to another. And the way I remember it is a little rhyme. And the rhyme goes, King Henry died a miserable death called measles. Have you heard that before? Okay, so let's just write this out. So I'm going to use abbreviations because, so it starts with, come on, man. Stupid iPad. King Henry died a miserable death called measles. Okay, so write that down. King Henry died a miserable death called measles. Sometimes you may hear people say, King Henry died a grisly death called measles. But I'll talk to you about that at a later stage. Okay, so the question is, I'm not sure what this is called when you take, I think it's called a mnemonic device. I'm not sure. When you take a whole bunch of letters and then you give it like a rhyme. Someone can look it up for me. No, an acronym would be a new word. So an acronym is like PAGAD. People Against Drugs and something. Or People Against Gangsterism and Drugs. Yes, that's PAGAD. So that's when you form a new word. Okay, so the question is, am I really talking about a king called Henry, or do these letters have other names or meanings? And the meanings. So King Henry died a miserable death called measles. Okay, now, I want to focus on something here. That thing over there. Now, I said to you, sometimes you hear the rhyme said like this. The wrist guard is not working there. King Henry died a grisly death called measles. So sometimes what happens is, instead of using, stupid thing. Okay, Sometimes, instead of using M, we use G in the middle. So first of all, in this rhyme, the thing in the center has a very important, it's the starting point for everything. And if we're talking about units of length or distance, what is the basic unit we normally use? What was in common in all of the things when we started? Meters. So that's why there's an M in the middle here, because the basic unit of length or distance is meters. Okay, whereas if we're talking about mass, the basic unit of mass is actually the gram. So that's why there's something in the middle called either grizzly or meters. So then the question becomes, what do all these things stand for over here? So I'm just going to start on a new page here. If I start with, I'm just going to focus on one of these. So King Henry died. Death. So we've said the middle part is M. What does D stand for? Well, I'll tell you what. I'll start with this one over here. That one stands for deci. That one stands for centi. And this one over here stands for milli. Sorry. No. Okay, you can write it in. I'm getting better at this as we go. So that's milli. And then over here on this side, that is deci. Sorry, that is not deci. I lie. It's deca. Oh, some of you know this better than I do. Deca. And then it's hectare. And then it's kilo. And I'm going to press pause.